I put some extra hay in last night for the goats. They've eaten it down, but as you can see, they've also wasted some. So they will clean this up as the hay comes down. That end along the feet are still good hay. I'd rather have them waste a bit and be full than make them scrounge and be hungry. I didn't put any additional hay in for the ewes. They've still got quite a bit there to eat, and last time they actually cleaned this all off. The pallet was bare, so they'll eat all that. The feeder over here, there's still some in there. You can see the difference between the brown and the green. The brown is the base layer, so all that green, they'll eat that down. This hay rack is working well for the rams. I filled this yesterday, and so that's 1 day's worth. So it'll last them 2 to 3 days. And we put this on the other side, put that board across the top in these racks, because you can see where the sheep have reached through here and eaten a little bit, which is okay. And down there at the bottom, I don't mind if they eat out of this one. They're not going to waste it. But they were eating a lot more off the top of that. And these are 4-inch squares, so they can reach the hay pretty easily. And I like this because they don't waste it as much. See, that's Lambert. He's pulling through. That's the Ile-de-France ram. And that's our 2 Canadian rams. That's Cracker walking away. He's a 3/4 Dorset, 1/4 Texel. And this is Lamborghini. He's a purebred, registered Suffolk. So we'll be getting lambs out of all these guys this spring. Looking forward to the first crop of lambs and see how they do. But the hay rack's working well. I moved the gate down here so we don't have to use that water tank anymore. It's secured here at the fence and here at the gate. They can stick their head through, get clean water. So this has worked really well because they've got fresh water all the time, and we don't have to worry about the hose and filling it up. So, right, Cracker? You good boy? Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Lynn and Arnie Drew from Utopia Farms raised these guys, and Cracker was one of Lynn's pets. She did a good job. Well, Lamborghini has turned out to be a friendly guy too. Right, kiddo? You gonna come up? Good boy. Come on. Here we go. Yeah. He likes to have his chin scratched too. So, they're both good boys. The Ile-de-France ram Lambert, he's still pretty flighty. He's calming down in a smaller pen, but he doesn't like to be petted. But anyway, they're doing really well. You can see how he can reach through and get to the water. So that keeps it heated and won't freeze, and we'll clean that out every day, make sure it's fresh water. So it's working really well.
Good girl. Oh. That's a good girl. Yes, that's a good girl. That's a very good girl. You're very sweet. Yes.
Daily chores, and Goldie got through the fence up there. I have to reconfigure it, so trying to get her to go back up and go in. She walked by it once. Sometimes they're not the smartest animals. Go on. Let's go. It's open up there. Go. Don't go that way. Well, let's try some food. Sugar always draws more bees than vinegar. So let's see if this works.
Come on.
Come on. Here. Come on. Come on. Two dogs don't get together. Garrett, stop. Come on. Come on, Goldie. Heidi, don't you go out that gate. Open gate is free game. Goldie, come on. Come on around here. There you go. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Here we go. Try to lead them instead of drive them. Problem was I had this reel hanging over here on this post, and this was not strong enough to support it, so it kind of fell down, grounded out. So we have to put all these back in. And then I've got this hanging on here, and we've got a good post here to support it. So that should work on everything. I've got a super fence too way up on the hill that has a damaged reel. I ran over it with the tractor, so I left it up there. I forgot about it. I didn't take that fence down, so it's a little bit above 40 degrees today, so we're going to take that down today before it freezes. So we'll go do that. I totally forgot about this section of fence not being taken down yet. I'm out here in the hayfield. That's what broke. I ran over it with the tractor, fell out of the loader. So it's a little tough to take this down. That's why I left it up. I actually ignored it. So anyway, we'll get this section of fence taken down today for the snow flies, and we'll be all done. Didn't take too long. The duct tape held it together. It just needs a more rigid adaptation for that, but it works in a pinch. I usually use this section where I can set it up and leave it and not have to move it. So anyway, got that taken up. Glad I got it done today before the weather gets really cold and nasty or rainy. So I had totally forgotten about it and just remembered it today. The sheep spend quite a bit of time out in the field. This is the box elder grove, and this is really good cover for them. It's down out of the wind and nice and dry, so they'll spend some time in here too. Number 11, call her Sunshine, is doing well. I have trouble picking her out now. I usually have to read ear tags. Oh, that's her right there. There she goes. Yep, she's feeling good. Right hind leg's got just a little bit of stiffness, but she's doing really well. When we lost our ram, that's the wood chip pile. That's where we buried him. For dead animal disposal, they have to bury him, or a recommended way is to put them on wood chips, about 2-3 feet of wood chips underneath them, and then cover them with wood chips. So he is actually right in there, and no odor. The dogs haven't gone after him, and coyotes obviously haven't, because there's dogs keep them away. This pile is actually composted quite a bit, because it was probably at least 25% taller, and well, just 25% bigger all the way around. So as it composts, it goes down. So I'll check with the guys that did the trimming for us, and maybe have them bring in some more loads of chips for us. The sheep and the dogs like that high mound. They rest up there a lot, the high ground. And as you can see, some of the sheep are grazing just a little bit. There is a little bit of grass growing. It's been mild. Nibbling on some of that grass. We've had a hard freeze, so any parasites or larvae that were out here have been killed. But there's a little grass growth out here, so they graze it a little bit. A little extra vitamins. Lily's out here with her charges. She loves her sheep and goats. So she just usually lays out in the middle of them. December 21st, it's a summer or winter solstice today, so it's the shortest day of the year. But they came in, they were out in the field, and when I started calling the goats, then the guardian dogs know that come on call, so they came running up and the sheep followed them. So they'll spend some time here. They might munch on a little bit of hay and then go back out to the field. The Jacobs are over there rubbing their heads on the pine tree. They were jousting a bit. That's Shirley, the Texel. That was my grandniece's 4-H lamb, and hopefully she's with lamb. We bred her to Lambert, so when you cross Shirley with Lambert, you get Sherbert. So her lamb's already named, if she has one. If she has twins, we're call them Lime Sherbert and Lemon Sherbert, so we can tell them apart. Anyway, that's the fun of having sheep. You can kind of play around with it and have fun with them. Anyway, they like the trees, and Shirley the Texel, she hangs with the Jacobs, and the three of those usually separate from the rest of the sheep. I don't know why, but they just hang together. Sheep are on the move. It's about 2:30, 3 o'clock. They were down here in the grove resting, and the Jacobs take off, which, like I said, they're the flock leaders. They move, and then the rest of them start to move. Everybody was down here resting, and looks like they're going to head up the hill. That was a teaching moment. He was starting to play with the goats, and we don't allow that. So some of them came up to the feeder here, and they're eating. You can see the rest of them are down the hill there, just relaxing. So that's what I like. When they're hungry, they can go help themselves, and nobody ever goes hungry. There's a couple over here. That's number 11 there at the end of the feeder. She's eating over there. So everybody's got plenty of food, fresh water. There's a mineral feeder right there, that little black box right there beside the dog feeding station. So looking good. A week from yesterday, 6 days from now, we're going to ultrasound the first batch, all the goats. And I think there's 7 of the sheep that we're going to ultrasound to find out if they're pregnant, and if they are, whether they're singles or multiples, and how many they're going to have. So that'll be exciting news. So we'll do a video on that and update you when that's done.